Hi, welcome back to another video. This is Life with Shalomoi. Okay, I'm recording this video. It's 1 a.m. okay. Why? Because the kids have been on holiday and it gets very loud where I live. Okay, so I don't mind it because I'm a late night owl, okay, on certain days. However, I have to sleep and get up early. I'm trying to work out because I missed today's evening workout. So anyway, in this video I'm going to be talking about why some of us bend society's rules and expectations, okay, and why some of us we might not seem like we are trying too hard to fit in, why some of us might seem weird to you, okay. So I'm going to be getting into that, okay. Now, I hope everyone is doing fine, of course. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the video, okay. My name is Shabomai. I know some of you might find me weird, might find me like, oh, I'm not trying to do too much to fit in, and here's why personally. Or you might encounter certain people where you feel like, oh my god, they're not really living by society's expectations, okay. And the honest reason why personally, or most of us do that, okay, why we go ahead and bend society's rules and expectations, it's because if we actually don't, okay, the things that actually matter to us are going to end up getting bent and broken. Things like our sanity, things like our personal boundaries, okay. So when you get to a point, especially when you've worked on yourself and you've gotten to a place of you're self-aware and you're at peace with who you are and where you are at in life, okay, you get to a point where you would rather focus on the things that matter to you, okay. Yes, especially if you're someone who operates on a place of boundaries, you're always going to put that before anything else, before trying to fit in, before you try to people please, okay. That is why you're going to find someone say, oh, no, you're mzibu. No, man, no, you're mzibu. We're in a boundaries, you know. So oftentimes we might look like we are doing things that are not that welcomed by society, or we might think a different way than expected of us from society, or we might be holding out or on things or taking our time on things like children for reasons, okay, for reasons like, hey, my finances have to be in order, okay. So oftentimes when you see people operate differently than what society expects, okay, or break society's rules, or don't do things on society's timing, okay, it's not that they're mad, it's not that they're crazy, it's because that there are actually things that they do have in their lives that matter to them and that are important, okay. So oftentimes we also have to accept that yes, we do have people who are slaves to society's expectations, okay, but we also have to understand that there is also another side of people who actually don't relate to it, who are not trying to fit in, who are not trying to be accepted, okay, and not because they're bad people, not because there's something wrong with them, but because they've gotten to a point where they operate their life on what makes sense to them, and they're comfortable about it, and they're not apologetic about it, because especially if it doesn't involve you hurting anyone, there's nothing to be apologetic about, okay. So we all don't want to fit into a box, okay. We all don't want to be accepted into society, or be loved, or be relatable, okay. So that is why you in life you're going to encounter people who you're going to find weird, because probably you think they are weird, you think they are funny, you think they are complicated, you think they are difficult, because they're not trying to be palatable to you, they're not trying to be palatable to anyone, they're not trying to fit into the box society has created for everyone. So we also need to acknowledge that and accept that about people, especially when we are interacting with people. Yeah, or when you see people or you encounter people, understand that in this life you're going to encounter people who are actually not about people pleasing, not about fitting into the society's standards or expectations, which is fine. So something that might seem weird to you, someone that might seem like, oh, they're doing things different, this one is weird. They're not weird. Oftentimes it's because they've prioritized that instead of breaking and losing themselves for society, they start to break the society's expectations so that they can stay same people, so that they don't find themselves in depression episodes, so that they don't find themselves being people pleasers, losing themselves in people. So there are people who actively live this life of I'm here for me, okay? And oftentimes those people you find that are weird, they're not people pleasers. They often don't even have that many friends, okay? So I just wanted to talk about that because oftentimes people get confused, like the audacity. But no, it's not the audacity. A lot of you need to understand that some of us, we have things like our sanity, our finances, our success. There are things that we feel like if we don't protect them, or if we lose ourselves to society's timing and expectations, we lose sight and focus of who we are, what we stand for, what we believe in, yes, our boundaries. So when you see someone be different or you think they're weird, they're not being weird, okay? So I think we need to also start respecting the fact that we are all not trying to fit in, we are all not trying to be palatable, and we all, yes, and we also should we should also accept the fact that not everyone is going to do life the way you think is right, okay? If the way you do life makes sense to you, it might not make sense to someone else, okay? And we all have different timings and different priorities. So when we need to approach this thing from a place of self-awareness as well, okay? And acceptance with the fact that not everyone is going to live up to society's standards and expectations, and we shouldn't have that pressure in place as well. Because I say this a lot, society itself is a mess for it to have standards on anyone. Society is such a huge mess for it to be putting now standards on people and timing and expectations. Society is crazy. So oftentimes, that's why you will notice most people who are happy, comfortable and living their truth, they are not trying to fit into society's standards or expectations, okay? So before you look at someone and call them weird, different, funny, or you think they are weird because they don't fit into your way of doing life and approaching life, I want you to consider that. Yes, okay? So that's just something I wanted to talk about, because I've had people who are like, oh my god, you're so different, you're so weird. I'm like, because society has nothing to do with me. Society is a bloody mess, okay? I'm trying to not to cuss too much on this YouTube channel this year, so I'm working on it, okay? I'm PGing myself. Alright, so that's something I wanted to share. I'm going off to bed, okay? I've done my skincare. All I need is to brush and go to bed. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share. Bye.